So what's going on, YouTube? Can't find my tripod, so I guess I don't have to hold my camera here. I'm responding to a video by George Fatato, and it's actually an interesting topic. What would you do with $100,000? How would you invest $100,000? And give you a little story. There's a 22-year-old kid. First, I want to applaud you. Most 22-year-old kids I know don't just have $100,000 in the bank. Good for you. But what would you do? So let me give you my opinion on this. George Fatato said, do not invest in real estate. You know, really, I have to say this. He basically said, look, I don't know too much about it, but this is what I wouldn't do if I were you. He gave a story. He said, I wouldn't invest in real estate because, the value and things like this going down. And he talked about he had an uncle that had 11 pieces of property, and he lost all his property. Before I go on to other things, let's just talk about that right now. The reason why a lot of people lost their properties in this real estate meltdown is for one reason. They weren't paid for. See, a lot of people, and this is why I told you, you want to take your time when it comes to growing wealth. A lot of people thought they can be millionaires overnight. They thought, oh, I can just go out to the bank, get a loan, even though my house is not paid for, get a loan and buy a home, and then if I can afford the monthly payments or afford to put someone in that can pay these things down for me, then I just keep going and then continue on and get another home and continue on and get another home, and none of these homes are paid for. You know, that's the break. That's the problem right there, because people think they have power just because if I can afford to make the payments, then I can afford it. No. Look, let me tell you something. Let me get into this $100,000 real quick. First of all, you have to tell yourself that $100,000 isn't a lot of money. Because a lot of people think, oh, I have $100,000 in the bank. I'm doing great. No. There are a lot of people who have much more than that in the bank. $1 million is not a lot of money. But this is how you have to look at it. Right now, that lump sum money does not have power. So what do you mean by that? Lump sum money does not have power. When you put it to work, it has much power. Let me give you an example. Okay? Now, let's say you got $100,000 in the bank, which you do. Ask yourself this question. What service can I offer to as many people as possible? I think you live in California or something like that, whatever, right? There's a lot of businesses out there that can bring you passive income. So let's just say you were to take $10,000 of that $100,000 and say, look, is there an internet cafe, or when I say internet cafe, not a physical internet cafe where you have someone selling coffee or something like that. No, internet kiosk. Is there an airport around my area that does not have an internet kiosk where I see businessmen and people who want to use a computer on a daily basis come through that would actually pay to check their email, check services and things of that nature, whatever. And that's not necessarily a internet kiosk in the airport. Can I offer this service to someone? Can I, if somebody wants to make an international call where there's international travels and things like that, travelers, can I set up a phone center in that area for about $10,000 to $20,000 where people can come use that every day as a service for them? And now that $10,000 to $20,000 that I invest in that now is working. I'm not losing it. I'm putting it to work. Now I can take the profits from that and add it to that remainder of the $100,000 and grow that. And then once I get that going, then let me think, is there another service? Or can I offer this same service somewhere else? You see, now you're not taking that lump sum money and putting it somewhere. Because I wouldn't say real estate is your best investment right now. Because the thing about it is this, is that, first of all, if you have $100,000 at 22 years old, you're doing something right. If you didn't get that money through an inheritance or something like that, you're doing something pretty good right now. And I would say keep that up. But remember something. One soldier going to fight a battle doesn't have much chance. But if you send 10,000 to 20,000 soldiers out to battle, they have a chance. That's what you've done when you've taken a percentage of that and you've created passive income. You've basically sent out 10 to 20,000 soldiers and say, hey, go get me some money and bring it back. That's how you make money powerful. You know, We get into this kick sometimes that we just think that real estate is a bad investment. No, real estate is a great investment. I'm telling you right now, for the people who suffered, right, were the people who were upside down in their homes. That's why you shouldn't rush to get a home. Real estate is still a great investment. They have programs like Section 8 for low-income people who can't afford to really pay their rent, where state companies come in and actually pay their rent for them. I'm not saying it's good for them to be on state assistance, but what I'm saying is that with that program, there are a lot of single mothers and things of that nature, whatever. You can put someone in their house in that program, and you can get a check every month. So you can take an investment, but I wouldn't invest in the home right now because you only have $100,000. You'll wipe your whole savings out just with that. You probably won't lose it, but you'll wipe it out. So I would take a percentage of that and create passive income and get the momentum rolling like that and add on to that $100,000. Now you've created a business that's working, and you don't necessarily have to be there, and you can continue and create businesses like that all over the United States. Maybe you can partner with people in other countries. The limit, I mean, there's no limitation to what you can do. That's my advice on the situation. And like I said, I want to applaud you again for that. But while this subject is out there, I want to ask my subscribers and people who may be listening to the video, what would you do? That's just my opinion of what I would do with that money in order to make that money grow. So if you like the topics, if you like the things to talk about here in this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, signing off.